I was also curious about you. You mentioned stand up, like you did on Cabaret, I think. And I was wondering just what was your stand up like? It was like get to know, you're supposed to stand up is kind of like trying to get to know who this person is. What was your what was your MO? How'd you introduce people? Was it like I'm, did you kind of like go into your family dynamic, or was it just something outside of that whole life?
Well, my father was the funniest person that I knew, and again, I was really drawn to again Carol Burnett and this kind of improvisational and written funny material. And so I was always drawn to comedy. I was taken to see Lily Tomlin early on, and I was amazed by what she did. My father did Saturday Night Live a couple times, and so I was again comedy and that way of performing that style was interesting to me. And I was always trying to pay attention to the kind of humor, if it was mean spirited or self-deprecating, or if it was kind of cheesy, if you worked with a prop. I was kind of just analyzing all of that stuff, and I was also kind of exploring: do you do it to please yourself, or do you do it for an audience? So, for example, I didn't really get much out of saying the same things in front of different audiences. I didn't enjoy that the audience was the variable. And so for me, I preferred a kind of avant-garde way of working where I would just do these weird like premises, and I would only do them once in a kind of a yeah. So one thing I did that made me laugh was I wrote a scene that's from a movie that doesn't exist, starring me and Colin Farrell. And I brought a member, and I won an Academy Award for it. And I brought an audience member up to read Colin's dialogue, so I could redo the scene. And I was a Pastor Prime stripper, and so the audience member had to just keep reading disturbing dialogue. He was just saying the rudest things to me. So I have a stranger going, "You're such a pig. Look at you, pig. Oink oink." Like it was just terrifying. And I cried, and I wore this outfit that was just wrong to wear. And so these are the kinds of things that I would like to have audience engagement and put everybody in an uncomfortable situation. I don't know, that was the kind of stuff that made me laugh.
So like who, for example, I mean, Carol, I mean, different than Carol Burnett,
yeah.
the people you've said, but
Carol Burnett. I don't think Carol Burnett did that type of thing.
No, but she did have scenarios.
That's true. Yeah.
So I just kept going. I just kept moving it further down the spectrum.
Yeah.
Very uncabaret. So you did find a home. I mean, I feel like that you probably felt like a lot of these comedians were kind of your peers. Like I mean, looked up to a lot of them.
Initially, I was telling stories about my family, which weren't funny to me, but the audience thought it was hilarious. And then after I exhausted that, I started to just explore, well, what is funny to me? And that was more fun for me. And I think then it's almost like when you write fiction, it's more revealing. So the things you're actually interested in, I think are much more dangerous, because it's who you really are. So I found that both scary and thrilling, that part of it.
Look at that. You like balancing on the tightrope. Good for you. It's amazing.
Well, I was raised on it. So,
well,
yeah.
that's true. Okay, and you mentioned your dad on SNL. It was kind of it was kind of controversial. I mean, did you like? He kept making note of how phony this whole showbiz thing is live on show.
Yeah.
And
he was not asked back.
No, I know. Was he banned from the show after that?
He was banned. Yeah.
And so you've watched it. What do you think of that performance?
Well, I don't, when I watch it, I don't think about it in terms of the performance. I think about it in terms of my father's experience. I'm watching for what he's objecting to, and I'm watching for, just how he was treated and how he treated them. I'm watching the dynamics more than anything else. I find it fascinating. I've looked up all the people that were banned and seen what their episodes were. It's fun. It's fun.
It's okay. That's a fun activity, actually.
No.
Another fun activity is to look up banned TED Talks. Hilarious.